Be me. 29F. HR at a mid-sized SaaS company. Masters in Organizational Psychology. Been grinding in corporate world for 6 years. Drive a white Tesla Model 3. Live in a renovated loft in Capitol Hill with exposed brick and too many plants. My life is curated, aesthetic, and politically correct. I view myself not just as an HR rep, but as a cultural architect. To me, the workplace is a battlefield for social justice, and I am the general. The company has about 150 employees. Engineering is 90% male, quiet, introverted, hoodie-wearing types. Sales and marketing are 60% female, loud, trendy, fun. Leadership is mixed, but the CEO, David, is a classic Gen X conflict voider. He just wants to sail his boat and let the company run on autopilot. He trusts me implicitly with people ops, because he's terrified of getting cancelled. This gives me immense power that I believe I wield for the greater good. I've always had a problem with the engineering department here. They make the most money, they have the best perks, they work flexible hours, and yet they are the least engaged in culture. They skip the DEI workshops, they turn off their cameras during all hands, they don't use the preferred pronoun signatures in Slack. It irritates me on a cellular level. I see them as beneficiaries of a system that was built for them. Meanwhile, the girls in customer success and social media are grinding, dealing with angry clients, managing brand voice, and getting paid half of what a junior dev makes. In my head, this is a systemic failure. And I decided last year that I was going to fix it. Q4 arrives. Comp review cycle. Compensation review. My favorite time of year. This is where the rubber meets the road. David gives me the budget. We had a good year, 4.5% merit increase pool overall, he says. Distribute it based on performance ratings and market alignment. Keep retention in mind. He sends me the master spreadsheet and walks away. He hates numbers. Ironically, he just wants the final sign-off sheet so he can feel like a boss. I open the file. Thousands of cells. Names, titles, current salary, performance rating, recommended increase. I lock my office door, put on my focus playlist on Spotify, pour a kombucha. It's time to do some redistribution. I start analyzing the rows. I filter by department first. Engineering, top of the list is Ryan 32M. Senior backend engineer. He's the guy who basically built the legacy codebase. Quiet, wears the same grey zip-up hoodie every day. Never comes to happy hours. Answers questions with yes or no. Performance rating. 4.9 out of 5 outstanding. Manager note. Ryan single-handedly patched the security vulnerability in Q3. Critical asset, current salary $165,000. System recommended raise 6%. $9,900. I stare at the number. Does Ryan need another 10K? He probably lives in a basement and plays World of Warcraft all night. He doesn't have executive presence. He doesn't mentor junior staff, meaning he doesn't like to chat. I delete the 6%, type in 2.2%. Justification note. Salary is already at the 95th percentile of market for this geo, capped to prevent compression issues. Focus needed on soft skills and culture fit. I feel a little thrill. It feels like justice. I move down the list. Kevin 27M, DevOps, rating 4.5 out of 5, recommended 5%. I change it to 1.5%. Note, performance is technical only, lacks collaborative spirit. Marcus 34M, QA lead, rating 4.2 out of 5, recommended 4%. I change it to 0%. Note, cost of living adjustment only applied to base heavy bonus reliance. There is no bonus this year. I go through the entire engineering team, shaving off points, slicing budgets, taking money out of the pockets of the privileged. I calculate the savings. I have freed up about $180,000 in the merit pool. Now for the fun part. I switch tabs to marketing and CS. Mia 24F, social media coordinator, total sweetheart, always compliments my outfits. We get matcha lattes together on Tuesdays. Rating 3.5 out of 5, meets expectations. Manager note. Good attitude, needs to improve attention to detail. Current salary, $62,000. Recommended raise 3%. I delete it. I type in 14%, change title. Brand strategy lead. Justification. Critical retention risk. High potential talent. Market correction needed to align with competitor bands. I do this for Sarah in HR, my assistant. I do this for Jessica in customer success. I effectively transfer the wealth from the silent code monkeys to the vocal, culture-ad women. I feel like Robin Hood. I look at the final numbers. Total budget spend is exactly on target. 0% overage, perfectly balanced, as all things should be. I save the file. Final comp planning 2025 V3. Send it to David. Email body. Hi David. Finalize the comp planning. Rigorous market analysis applied. We are staying budget neutral while prioritizing high impact retention. Ready for your signature. 15 minutes later, David replies. Great work. Proceed. I lean back in my Herman Miller chair, smirk at my reflection in the monitor. I am good at this. Comp letters are distributed. I schedule the emails to go out at 9 a.m. on a Tuesday. I brace myself for a little blowback. Usually, people complain, but I'm banking on the specific psychology of our engineers. They are conflict averse, they are socially awkward. They would rather write a script to automate their grocery shopping than have a confrontation about money. 9 a.m. passes. 10 a.m. passes. Office is quiet. I walk past the engineering pit. Silence. Just the clicking of mechanical keyboards. I see Ryan. He's staring at his screen. He doesn't look angry. He just looks blank. I smile internally. They took it. They swallowed the pill. Lunchtime. I go out with Mia and Jessica. Mia is beaming. OMG, I saw my letter. You are literally a lifesaver, she whispers over her kale salad. I can finally afford to move into that apartment in Fremont. You earned it, I say, sipping my sparkling water. We value talent here. I believe my own lie. I feel benevolent. I am the matriarch of this office. We talk about how the guys are so boring. Ryan looked like a zombie today, Jessica says. I know, right? It's like, get a personality, I laugh. We pay the bill. I put it on the corporate card. Team building lunch. The next day, Wednesday, calendar notification pops up. New meeting request. Sender, Ryan. Subject, comp clarification. My stomach tightens just a fraction, but I dismiss it. I've handled tougher conversations than this. I accept. I prepare my script. Market caps. Holistic review. Budget constraints. I practice my empathetic face in the mirror. The I wish I could do more, but my hands are tied face. Ryan knocks on my doorframe. Come in. I chirp. He walks in, sits down. He's wearing the hoodie. He looks tired, dark circles under his eyes. Hey Ryan, what's up? Everything okay with the new build? Trying to establish rapport. He ignores the small talk. I received my compensation statement, he says. Voice is flat, monotone, 2.2%. I nod, clasping my hands on the desk. Yes. As you know, it was a tight year. We had to make very strategic decisions across the board. He looks at me. Usually, he looks at his shoes. Today, he's looking right at my eyes. It's unsettling. CPI inflation was 7.1% last year, he says. My rent went up 10%. Technically, this is a pay cut. I sigh, the practiced sigh. I understand the macroeconomics, Ryan, but we don't index salaries to inflation. We index to performance and market value. You are already at the top of the pay band for a senior engineer. Top of the band, he asks. Yes, we have to ensure equity for everyone. He pauses. He seems to be processing the word equity like a corrupt data packet. I shipped the API migration 2 weeks early, he says. I trained the 2 junior devs. I haven't taken a sick day in 3 years. I know, Ryan, and we value that. But we're looking for more. Visibility, more leadership presence. Soft skills, he repeats. Yes, communication, culture ad, participating in the wider company ecosystem. He stares at me for a long time. 5 seconds, 10 seconds. I start to fidget. Finally, he stands up. Okay, he says. I just wanted to understand the logic. The logic is strict adherence to market data, I say, trying to sound authoritative. Understood, he says. He walks out, doesn't slam the door, doesn't raise his voice. I let out a breath. Crisis averted. He's a drone. He'll go back to his desk, type his code, and be thankful he has a job in this economist. Fast forward 3 weeks. The atmosphere in the office has shifted slightly. It's subtle. Hard to pin down. The engineering side is quieter than usual. No laughter, no chatting in the break room. Just work. They come in exactly at 9, they leave exactly at 5. Productivity is technically up, but the vibe is dead. I try to engage them. I bring in donuts on Friday. Happy Friday, guys. I put the box on the central table in the dev pit. Usually, they swarm like locusts. This time, no one moves. Ryan doesn't even turn his head. Eventually, one junior dev grabs a donut, whispers thanks, and runs back to his desk. I feel annoyed. Ungrateful, I think. I fight for their benefits, and this is how they act. The payroll migration project. This is the big initiative for Q1. We are moving from ADP to a new, fancy HRIS system called Workday. It's a massive integration. I'm the project lead. David put me in charge because it's an HR function, but it's actually a technical nightmare. I have to migrate 5 years of historical data, salaries, tax codes, social security numbers, banking details, vesting schedules. I start trying to map the data fields in Excel. It's a disaster. The formats don't match. The dates are in different serial codes. I keep getting error messages. Fatal error schema mismatch. I'm panicking. Deadline is end of month. If payroll is late, it's a legal catastrophe. I try to Google the solution. I'm reading Stack Overflow threads I don't understand. I realize I need a dev. I need someone who knows SQL and Python to scrub the data. I look at the org chart. Ryan is the only one with the clearance and the skill set. I hesitate. I remember our meeting, but that was weeks ago. He's probably over it. And besides, I'm his superior in the hierarchy effectively. He has to help me. I walk over to his desk. He has big noise-canceling headphones on. I tap his shoulder. He slides one ear cup off, doesn't smile. Hi, Ryan. Sorry to interrupt. I'm in a bit of a bind with the Workday migration. He looks at me. Okay, I need to merge the historical comp data with the new schema. The Excel sheets are crashing. Can you help me script a transformation? He blinks. I can do that. I'll need access to the source files. I pause. The source files. The files that show everything. The specific adjustments. The comments I wrote. But wait, he's a back-end engineer. He deals with millions of lines of data. To him, it's just integers and strings. He doesn't care about the content, just the structure. And I can delete the specific notes column before I give it to him. Sure, I say. I'll scrub the personal notes and drop the file in the secure drive. Okay, he says. I'll write a script to map it tonight. You're a lifesaver, Ryan. Seriously. He slides the headphone back on, conversation over. I go back to my desk, open the master file. I delete the column HR justification notes where I wrote the snarky comments about culture fit. I leave the numbers though. I have to. The history needs to be accurate for tax purposes, I figure. He won't analyze it. He'll just write code to move column A to column B. I save it as master data export clean.csv, drop it in the folder. I feel a wave of relief. Problem solved. I go home early, treat myself to a glass of natural wine. 3 days pass. Ryan sends me a Slack message. Data migration complete. Validation checks passed. New system is populated. Amazing. Thanks, Ryan. I log into Workday. Everything is there. Perfect. I check the payroll preview. It works. I tell David, migration successful, under budget and ahead of schedule. David gives me a thumbs up emoji. I am untouchable. I navigated the treacherous waters and came out dry. I start planning the project celebration party. I order expensive cupcakes. The following Monday, all hands quarterly meeting. This is the big one. The entire company gathers in the main atrium. Zoom screen on the wall for the remote workers. David is presenting the Q1 financials and the State of the Union. I'm sitting in the front row, wearing a power blazer. Ryan is in the back, standing against the wall, hoodie up, arms crossed. David finishes the slide on revenue growth. We're in a strong position, David says. Now, I want to invite our HR director up to talk about the new benefits package and the successful system migration. I stand up. Applause is polite, mostly from the marketing side. I take the mic. Thanks, David. Yes, we are fully live on Workday. This represents a huge step forward in our commitment to transparency and efficiency. I say the word transparency without flinching. We want Veridian to be a place where everyone feels valued and where equity is the standard. Suddenly, the Zoom screen flickers. The slide deck disappears. David looks confused. Technical difficulty? He mutters. The screen goes black. Then, a new window opens. It's not a slide deck, it's a live data dashboard. Tableau. Header. Veridian compensation analysis, 5-year trend. The room goes quiet. I frown. Who is sharing screen? I ask into the mic. No one answers. The dashboard starts to animate. Chart 1. Salary increase versus performance rating 2025. It's a scatter plot. Each dot is an employee. There is a massive cluster of high ratings 4.5 plus with low raises less than 2.5%, labeled Engineering Ops. There is another cluster of mid ratings 3.0 to 3.5 with massive raises 12% and more, labeled Admin Marketing HR. The visual is stark. It looks like a crime scene. People start murmuring. What is that? Someone whispers. Chart 2 appears. The gender pay gap adjusted for performance. It shows 2 lines. Blue line male trending down against inflation, pink line female trending up vertically. Text box appears on screen. Analysis. Male employees with outstanding ratings received an average of 2.1% increase. Analysis. Female employees with meets expectations ratings received an average of 11.4% increase. Statistical anomaly detected. 99.9% probability of manual manipulation. My heart stops. I mean, it literally stops beating for a second. Cold sweat erupts instantly on my back. I look at David. David is staring at the screen, mouth open. I look at the back of the room. Ryan is just standing there. He's not holding a laptop. He's not typing. He set this up on a timer. He automated his revenge. Turn it off, I yell. Turn it off. This is a hack. I look desperate. David grabs the remote, trying to kill the projector, but the screen changes again. It's a list. Anonymized but obvious. Senior engineer, $3,200 raise, rating 4.9. Social media lead, $14,000 raise, rating 3.5. HR assistant, $8,000 raise, rating 3.2. The murmurs turn into shouting. One of the lead architects stands up. Is this real? He shouts. Did you guys see this? I try to speak. This is misleading. This data lacks context. You don't understand the holistic. My buzzwords are failing me. Holistic? A back-end dev yells. It looks like theft to me. Then, the final nail in the coffin. The screen shows one last visual. It's a recovered data log. I thought I deleted the notes, but I only deleted the column in the copy I gave him. The system kept an audit trail of the edits. Ryan found the audit trail. On screen, user my name action edited field raise percent from 6.0 to 2.2. Comment capped to prevent compression. Needs soft skills. User my name action edited field raise percent from 3.0 to 14.0. Comment retention risk market correction. The timestamps are visible. The room explodes. David looks at me. His face is purple. Did you write these notes? He asks. He's not using his nice CEO voice. David, I can explain. It was strategic. Get out, he says. Quietly at first, then louder. Get out of this room. Go to your office. I drop the mic. It makes a loud feedback screech. I walk down the aisle. People are staring at me with pure hatred. Mia is looking at the floor, refusing to make eye contact. I walk past Ryan. I look at him. He finally looks at me. He takes off his headphones. He smiles. Just a tiny, slight curl of the lip. Soft skills, he whispers. I stumble out of the atrium. I lock myself in my office. I'm shaking so hard I can't unlock my phone. I hear shouting outside. David is doing damage control. We will launch an immediate investigation. We will rectify all discrepancies. 10 minutes later, the door opens. It's not David. It's the head of legal and 2 security guards. We need your laptop and your badge, the lawyer says. You are placed on immediate administrative leave pending termination for cause. For cause? I shriek. I was doing my job. I was fixing the pay gap. You created a disparate impact liability that is going to cost us millions in settlements, the lawyer says. You manipulated performance data. That is fraud. I want to talk to David. David doesn't want to speak to you. Hand over the badge. I hand it over. My hands are numb. Security escorts me out. I have to walk past the glass walls of the engineering pit. They are all watching. No one is working. They are watching the culture architect get walked out like a criminal. I get to the elevator. As the doors close, I see them high-fiving. I see Ryan opening a soda. He looks like he just won the Super Bowl. The aftermath. I get the official termination letter via FedEx the next day. Gross misconduct. Discriminatory practices. Data manipulation. 0 severance. They contest my unemployment claim. I try to spin it on LinkedIn. Unjustly let go for fighting for equity. I get ratioed into oblivion. Former employees comment with the screenshots of the dashboard. My reputation is nuked. I am radioactive in the Seattle tech scene. Headhunters hang up on me. Oh, you're that HR lady? Yeah, we don't have anything for you. I lose the apartment. Can't pay the rent without the paycheck. I have to break the lease, lose my deposit. I sell the Tesla. I sell my designer bags on Poshmark. I move to a shitty one-bedroom in Renton, the uncool suburbs. It smells like mildew. My new car is a 2014 Honda Civic with a dent in the bumper. I spend my days applying to jobs I feel I'm too good for. Office manager at a dental clinic, receptionist at a car dealership. No one calls back. 6 months later, I finally get a job. HR generalist for a construction supply company. The office is a trailer and a gravel lot. My boss is a guy named Big Mike. He dips tobacco during meetings. There is no DEI committee. There is no natural wine. There is only make sure the guys get paid so they don't quit. I make $55K, less than half of what I used to make. I sit at a metal desk, enter timesheets manually. My spirit is broken. One rainy Tuesday, I'm eating a sad turkey sandwich at my desk. I open LinkedIn on my phone. I shouldn't do it, but I'm a masochist. I search for Ryan. His profile pic has changed. He's wearing a suit jacket, no hoodie. Title, Director of Engineering Operations. He got promoted. David probably gave him whatever he wanted to avoid a lawsuit. I look at his activity. He posted an article, The Importance of Data Integrity in People Operations. It has 15,000 likes. He spoke at a conference in San Francisco. The caption, True equity isn't about narratives, it's about numbers. Proud to lead a team where performance is the only metric that matters. I scroll down to the comments. Mia commented, So true, great leadership, Ryan. Mia, the girl I risked everything to boost. She switched sides the second the wind changed. I feel a lump in my throat. I want to scream. I want to reply and say I made you, but I don't, because I know. Ryan won. He played the long game. He let me dig the hole, jump in, and then he just poured the cement. Hey, Big Mike yells from the other room. Are those I-9 forms done yet? I flinch, wipe a tear from my cheek. Coming, Mike, I yell back. I close LinkedIn. I look at the stack of paperwork, greasy, dusty forms from truck drivers. This is my life now. I pick up a pen and I get back to work.